Well, the word for today is timing. Timing is very important in life, and I don't think we realize that until things like yesterday happen. I realize it actually because I'm in a business where timing means everything. A little bit of time here and there, you just make the flight, you just make the races. The other side is you don't make the flight, you don't make the races. And, you'll see in my videos, and I'm not going to change my videos. You'll see in my videos this week that I was proud. I was getting to the airport hours before I had to. Not because I was super excited, I was. But because I could. I had the time. Ollie's baseball game was canceled because of rain. It was pouring rain here. And I was concerned that the flights were going to be delayed, but who cares? I had a window of 5 hours. No, I had a window of 4 hours and 46 minutes. Because at 5 hours, that meant I was going to miss the Gold Cup and Saucer. The first delay came in, the second delay, even the third delay. Didn't care. Now, the third delay landed me we're on the plane. On the plane. And just at that moment, apparently, Air Canada realized that their first officer was going to time out. He had been working all day, and by the time he landed in PEI, his shift would have been over mid-flight, is how it was explained to us. Okay. You never thought about this before now? Like you didn't think when you pushed the flight to 7 o'clock? 7:30? There wasn't an alarm on a computer somewhere that went off and said, hey, by the way, Joe, Tim, Tom, Polly, Lisa, they're timing out. Why did you load us on the plane? Anyway, still, they said, don't worry, we're going to leave at 7:10. I said, well, I'm not worrying, but we were supposed to leave at 3 o'clock. Going on 4+ hours now. Now I'm starting to worry. They delayed again. Now I'm in trouble. My flight was going to land, is supposed to land at 10:18. Now at this point, all it means is I'm not going to eat my steak sandwich. And I'd have to eat a donair really fast. But I was going to make it. And not 15 minutes later, two of my buddies were in the beer tent, likely drunk. One of them sends me a message, says, Anthony, your flight's now landing at 11:03. The race is supposed to go at 11. I said, no, it's not. I haven't heard any announcement. It wasn't 8 seconds later. The announcement came. 11:03. So I'm doing the math. I said from the airport to the track is 15 minutes. It's 11:18. Surely 11 o'clock isn't a hard post time. They've gone at midnight every year since I was born. This is the first year the Gold Cup's at 11. I text the general manager at the track, is 11 p.m. a hard post time, or is there going to be drag? It looks like I might need 20 minutes. He said, oh my God, it's supposed to go off shortly after that. Didn't matter, they delayed it another 15 minutes just to throw salt in the wounds, just in case the gods up there said, you know what, Anthony still might go. I thought we would have deterred him by now. It feels like he still might go to PEI. Let's just throw a little 10 minutes on there. So I left. Adam Murner got the call last night. Now, I wrote in an email, not in an email, I wrote on Facebook a minute ago, a message I sent Adam today. Now, I feel bad. I didn't send Adam a message last night, but it wasn't about the Gold Cup. I was very angry over Chicago Hall's break. Angry over his break. And then Jason called me, and I was in no form to talk to tell me that he didn't know what happened with Freedom Hill, that he was warming her up and the lights went out and the rain came, and he said it was weird. And he said, so we had to go back out and then go back out again. He said, I don't know, Anthony, she must have tied up. She's probably right. When you're warming a 2-year-old trotting filly up and the lights go out, you might say, well, the lights the lights go out at night. You can't see anything. I remember when I was a kid, a generator blew in Belleville, Ontario, and I was in a race, and it was black. You just say, well, you just pull up. You can't see anything. And you're going, by the way, you're going 20 miles an hour. I was in the race. Maybe 18. It was a slow bunch of horses. No, they're supposed to go a little faster than that. They were going as slow as horses could go. So I'm taking all this in, and I'm trying my hardest to focus on how well Time Is on My Side raced, how well Aunt Lily raced, and quite frankly, how well Save America raced. So I'm going to go through our day yesterday. Obviously, the cloud of disappointment is gone, and now I'm back to Anthony runs the stable. I want to talk about what took place yesterday, how the horses were, how they raced. I'm glad that Adam Murner got a shot, and as it turned out, timing be what it is, isn't just about time. The draw also is what hurt us, because all that happened from me missing that plane was you seeing a half 52 and 3 in Charlottetown. Because I will guarantee you one thing, I wasn't going in any 4-hole at the Gold Cup and Saucer. Adam Murner lives in PEI and has everything to gain. Anthony McDonald was flying to PEI to drive in the Gold Cup, and I had nothing to lose. So, in hindsight, maybe Save America doesn't know it, but he was lucky that I didn't touch down in PEI. And I mean, the Larry Carr horse, you know, I'd been in the Larry Carr situation, right? I've done it a couple of times, run the front end. I remember I was actually the favorite one year with Fire on the Water and run the front end. I felt bad. I stuffed Gilles Barrio in the 2-hole, and then Fire in the Water collapsed. He just didn't race good. And, you know, I've been there. You look at what Adam Murner was up against. One of the better drivers on the East Coast, and definitely one of the best drivers on a half-mile track in the world, in Jordan Stratton. Driving one of the best horses that have already won the Gold Cup and Saucer, an absolute classy horse who loves to hunt and had tons of speed in front of him. As soon as I saw Adam drop in the 4-hole, I looked to see where Covered Bridge was. Unless he'd gone back to the paddock, he was probably going to win the Gold Cup. When Adam cleared down the backstretch, I'm like, oh, if he gets some separation. If you watch the race, you can almost see Jordan Stratton's confidence starting into the backstretch. He knew he was a winner. Save America raced great. To all my partners on both those horses, Save America and Rock Shining Star, the horses looked amazing last night. Jamie Smith had them good. Rock Shining Star, not super good on a half. Drew 7, had excess cover, and ended up being a quarter of a length for 5th. And by the way, the horse that beat him for 5th, we were bidding on not 6 weeks ago, and he sold for $133,000 US on game. Binge on Yankee. I was bidding on that horse. Gold Cup and Saucer's a staple for PEI. It's a staple certainly for everyone in the East Coast. And, you know, as I put in my message to Adam Murner, two points to take away from. One, you always have to be ready because you never know when you're going to get your chance, and he did. And 2, we might not have won, but he certainly didn't lose last night. He drove the horse as good as anybody on earth could have driven the horse. So a great job by him. And a great job by Jason Hughes also, Rock Shining Star. What are you going to do? The draw really killed him. Save America's quick off the gate. We knew he would either get to the front, pay a tax, or find a hole, and he did. But Rock Shining Star wasn't in the same boat. He needed a big half and the front end to collapse. And it did somewhat, but not in the way he needed it to. So Rock Shining Star will go to Ontario. He'll go to Harry Polton's barn and race a little bit at Mohawk, and we'll assess him along the way. And Save America will go to Northfield. Jason and I will race him there for a little bit. A horse that gets around a half. Yeah, he could go to Yonkers, but the Yonkers Open's a little saltier than the Northfield Open. And quite frankly, I think, I don't want to say he's a layover, but especially right now, he's going to make an immediate, I love saying it, an immediate impact in Northfield's Open. Now I'm going to go through the rest of the horses today. Ready for Landing. We're going to turn him out for 2 or 3 weeks. What I saw last night, I thought he grabbed a bell boot last week and did it, but that was a mirror image of what he did last week, right? Kind of ducked his head like he was angry, threw himself and made a break. We're going to give him 2 or 3 weeks off. I'm going to bring him back. I'm going to qualify him without hobbles on because I don't think he needs them anymore. And if he does, he does. But, you know, as I said to Mark, he's had a pretty tough year. You know, we've tried to race him into shape, and he's got there. He's not usually a horse. I'm surprised he made a break last week and yesterday. I am surprised the way he'd been racing, but he's a trotter. And he's probably telling us something. I'm going to give him a couple weeks off and bring him back. 3-point Blue Chip race, great. Hunter drove him great. Second and 53 and 4, 54 and a piece. I don't know. He raced good though, and stay close. He's just not going to race good from off the pace. And again, much like Adam Murner, you put Sean in a position, you know, less stress, obviously. You get the 9-hole at 15-1. There's really only one place you can go, and that's backwards. So he got what he could from a horrible position. Patrick the Piranha actually scoped a little redness on his palate yesterday. Tim said no blood, no mucus, but redness on his palate, which means shut his air off at some point. I can't tell you where. It didn't look to me like he did in the race. Was he a little rowdy in the post-parade? I don't know. We're going to have to work on his palate. We're going to have to get that cleaned up and get him back in to go. And I said to Tim, well, I thought that his feet were bothering him and then maybe the flip-flops, he'd come forward a bit. I haven't seen that at all. I said, why don't we just put the 4 full wedges back on him, continue to work on his feet, maybe give him a few days in the field just to relax. So I believe that's what we're going to do. I'm coming. Time is on my side. The horse raced incredibly good yesterday, and I mean incredibly good. What an impressive performance. You know, Mark raved about him too. I said to Mark, I talked to Mark about Ready for Landing. I said, the other horse you know, but I will leave you with this. He is not the same horse you drove the last time you drove him. Different horse. He called me after the race. He goes, Anthony, if I leave where Yannick leaves, if I leave 3 and I get away third, he said, I'm not telling you I'm going to win. He said, but I might have. He said, oh my God, that horse is good. And I said, I know he is. I said, the thing I love about Time Is On My Side the most is that those other horses, now Captain Albano's improving every week, it appears, but those other horses are at their best. Time Is On My Side improves every time he goes on the track. So it's scary to think what he's going to look like if he continues to progress the way he is. What's this horse look like at Breeders' Crown Night if we can get him in the final? I am super, super, super excited about the future of Time Is On My Side, and he is going to give us, I believe, a wonderful ride the rest of the summer. Dominion looked like he was going to be first, second, or third and made a break. He's going to race one more time next weekend, and then that's it. Gone. I'm going to have some horses that we're going to put on preferred also in the next preferred sale. Lonely Lakewood jogged. He raced good. Prince Charmer made that break in the first turn and 3 wide down the backstretch. To say that's not his trip would be fair. You got to watch him in the first turn. He's made a break on people. You just got to leave him alone. You can't push him going into the turn, but you can also double him up, and that's where drivers get in trouble with him. You know, you get to a turn and a trotter puts a few steps in. Your first reaction is to grab a hold of him. You can't do that. You just leave him alone. Let the hobbles do their work and let him trot through it. He will. He will. But if you double him up, it seems like that's where you get in trouble with him. And it looked like Billy was just kind of cinching him up going into the turn. He just put a step in and rolled off. But Lonely Lakewood looked really good in there also. Very happy with him. And then we got to the 3 stake horses. Chicago Hall, I was thoroughly, it still bothers me today, I was thoroughly angry over the performance he put on. Throwing his head and acting up the whole way, just looked uncomfortable. Well, I'll be home next week, and I can assure you the next time he goes behind the gate, all the wrinkles that are left in Chicago Hall from last night, they will all be smoothed out. That's the one, not the Gold Cup. The anger you hear in my voice still, it's from Chicago Hall. I've never seen that horse act like that or behave that way. It wasn't lameness, apparently. So I'm going to get to the bottom of whatever it was. We'll fix it, and we'll find it immediately. Freedom Hill, I think Jason's right. We'll draw our blood and see what it says, but you can't warm up a 2-year-old trotting filly in the pouring rain and then the lights go out and then you have to go back out and warm up again. And it's easy to say, well, the other filly said too. You're right, but every horse is different. And to ask a 2-year-old filly that is a big, big ask. And then there was a delay also from the rain. So I was, she raced badly enough where you knew something was up, but you just couldn't tell what. So we'll get to the bottom of it. I'm sure it'll be an easy fix. And then Aunt Lily, another one of the few shining points of yesterday. I shouldn't say few. Horses in PEI raced great. Time Is on My Side raced great. Lonely Lakewood raced great. Aunt Lily raced great. So it wasn't a few. She looked great. Very impressed with her. Tyler drove her great. The filly responded well. So that's yesterday in a nutshell. That's what took place. I had to pick up Ava Lily right now at the airport, and we're going to head to, what the best part of this weekend is now, by far? 3 games today with Ollie. I can't wait for that. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go and do my opening video with Ava on the way to the ballpark, but I wanted to give you an update on what took place yesterday. A bird's eye view. My view.